Not everyone likes an outsider who comes along and tells everybody what they're doing wrong and how they should do it better. That doesn't only apply to prophets, it also applies to consultants. I'm a consultant. I'm a policy advisor on economic development. So I know exactly how Jonah must have felt when God told him to go to Nineveh. But sometimes an outsider can make a difference. The example I'm thinking of isn't Nineveh, that great city, but Kigali, the beautiful green capital of Rwanda. Rwanda is the most densely populated country in Africa, so producing enough food is difficult, and the country suffers from extremely high rates of malnutrition. About 10 years ago, I led a team sent out under the UK aid programme to advise on agricultural financing strategy. The Rwandan government was trying to increase the production of maize, which is very high in protein and responds well to fertilizers. The government was subsidizing the inputs for the farmers, seeds and fertilizers, and productions were indeed increasing. The farmers were producing more maize. But that didn't solve the problem because there was still not enough maize coming to market through the year. A brilliant agricultural economist on my team, Professor Andrew Temu, established that the real problem wasn't the production of maize, but handling and storage. The farmers had very poor facilities for storing their maize, which rotted very quickly. So immediately after the harvest, the price of maize was at rock bottom, while all the farmers had to sell their maize before it rotted. And a few months later, there was hardly any maize left. The price became prohibitive and people couldn't afford to eat. The solution was proper warehousing. It was possible for farmers to store their maize in a warehouse and get a receipt for their maize. They could then use that receipt to get a bank loan as a security for a bank loan, which meant that they could wait until the price stabilized before they sold their maize. They could wait a few months. The problem was that the banks didn't feel that the warehouse receipts were adequate security because they were unregulated. It was tough to get people to accept this diagnosis. The fertilizer and seed companies were nervous about the potential loss of subsidies. Some of the Ministry of Agriculture officials were still obsessed by subsidies, while others didn't trust the banks. The breakthrough came when the chairman of the biggest bank in Rwanda said to me, if the government will regulate warehouse receipts, I won't just finance warehouse receipts, I'll finance new warehouses. When I said to the minister, Agnes Kalibata, her eyes lit up and she immediately saw the potential. The new policy and regulations were duly put in place, and in due course, the maize market did indeed stabilize and then grow. This contributed to a major improvement in nutrition. In 2010, the year of our project, 44% of children under 5 in Rwanda were stunted because of malnutrition. By 2015, 5 years later, that had gone down from 44% to 38%. And last year, it was down to 33%. And the farmers continued to buy seeds without subsidy, so the seed and fertilizer companies were happy, and the price of maize stabilized, so everybody benefited. Agnes Kalibata went on to become president of AGRA, the United Nations Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, and a UN Special Envoy on food systems. She is a prophet for food security. She says, I'm fully convinced of the power of food systems to transform lives of smallholders and communities and to bring about changes to entire economies. I'm very happy about the result that Andrew Temu and the rest of our team contributed to. We found the right answer, but more important still, we found the right people to talk to and the right words to use in talking to them. Jonah achieved even more spectacular results in a shorter time. So why was he unhappy? Well, that's beyond my brief, I'm very relieved to say. You'll have to see what you make of chapter 4. Thank you very much.